Another loaded 49ers report is on tap for the faithful. My name is Chase Sr. Thank you so much for hanging out. And as always, no matter where you are or how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day. And here's everything that we're getting into. Finally, some positive offensive line developments for the San Francisco 49ers ball club. And it has to do with a couple of young, intriguing players. And for those of you who have been watching the show for a long time, you know that I love me some trenches. We also have a new Jauan Jennings update. Are the Niners and JJ not even close to getting a contract extension done? And then we'll round out the show with another training camp reaction. I do want to begin here, though, a programming reminder. On Saturday, we will be live right here on the 49ers Report for another watch party. Niners, Raiders, a historic rivalry over the course of NFL history, so be sure to join us on Saturday afternoon. But we have some catching up to do. The Raiders Report has gained 824 new subscribers since we flipped the page to the month of August. 49ers Report doing well, but we're more than 300 subscribers behind that number at 515 since August 1. Hit that subscribe button, and if you want Niners coverage coming your way every single day, that's informative, insightful, entertaining, thought-provoking, where you have a voice, join the movement right now and lock us in. So let's talk some Niners offensive line. A lot of developments along the offensive line for the 49ers at training camp practice today. Offensive guard Ben Bartch, who started camp on the non-football injury list, then once he came back off that quad injury, was plugged in at left guard, first string, got hurt again today. That has been the story for him throughout his entire NFL career. Solid player. Niners brought him back at a cheap, affordable price, and he can be serviceable there at that left guard spot. Last year, I thought he filled in very well for Aaron Banks, but then what happened? After a really solid start against Buffalo, he got hurt. And today, walked into the facility with what looked to be an elbow injury. And so to replace him, it was the rookie 7th-round pick, Colby, who stepped in at that spot. And this is after Colby had a very impressive preseason opener where he was the highest graded Niner on the offensive side of the football against Denver. He played that left guard position, even though he played right guard at Iowa last year. And I thought he showed a lot of promise at that spot. Colby against the Broncos, 41 total snaps, 24 pass blocking snaps, 17 run blocking snaps. His overall PFF grade, 77.8. Offensive line coach Chris Forster said last week he's ahead of the game and better as a pass blocker right now compared to his run blocking, which is a little bit of a surprise because he fared so well being a zone blocker at Iowa, and Kyle Shanahan runs that patented outside zone. But Colby's pass blocking grade against Denver, a 78.6, and his run blocking grade notched at 73.3. And this is a player who the Niners took in the 7th round out of Iowa, who had a bunch of positional versatility with the Hawkeyes. He played right tackle, left guard, and right guard. Highly experienced player in the college ranks. 4-year starter with over 50 starts. 6'6", 309, so he's very tall, a little bit thinner, but he moves well and has a nasty streak to his game. He's a very good zone blocker, as I mentioned. He also has a very good football IQ. Whether it's as a run blocker or as a pass blocker, he understands his assignments and what his job is. And the Niners really like him as an athlete. His relative athletic score at the NFL Combine was a 9.66 on a scale of 0 to 10. His height, elite, 6'5". His weight, average, because he's a little bit thinner, at 309 pounds in the pre-draft process. The vertical jump, 28.5, but a good broad jump. Lateral mobility and explosiveness is always important for an offensive lineman. That's why you always try to gauge what the shuttle and the three-cone is for some of these athletes, because vertical speed is good, straight line speed is valuable, but how do you move to your left and to your right? For an offensive lineman, that's very important. The broad jump was over 9 feet, but Colby is a player, too, who is comfortable on pull blocks, is good at getting to that second level and climbing there to block defenders downfield, and he runs very well. A 5.11 40-yard dash, that too, great as far as his testing numbers. So not only was Connor Colby really good against Denver in the preseason opener, so too was the undrafted free agent rookie Drew Moss out of Colorado State. Like Connor Colby, good lateral mover. Like Connor Colby, positional versatility while at Colorado State. Connor Colby, highest graded Niner on offense according to PFF in that preseason tilt. Drew Moss, second highest graded player according to PFF. And today, with Connor Colby stepping in at left guard for Ben Bartch, it was Drew Moss elevating to second string left guard, not a player like Nick Zakelj, who started off training camp as the starting left guard when Ben Bartch was out. These are pretty significant developments for this Niners team because they badly need some young players to develop along the offensive line, especially when you factor in that Dominic Puni is a really promising player at right guard, but Jake Brendel is older and he's average. Colton McKivitz is going to be a free agent after this year. Trent Williams is 37 years old. If you get this influx of youthful talent, it helps you build the trenches, especially in a cost-affordable way, and we know the Niners don't really pay a lot of money along the offensive line. They'd rather pay skill players instead. As for how Drew Moss graded out against Denver, 29 snaps, not as much as Colby, 16 pass blocking reps, 13 run blocking snaps. His overall PFF grade, 77.3, right behind Colby, but his pass blocking grade was awesome. 83.7 on those 16 pass blocking snaps. His run blocking grade fared well there at 71.9. With his technique, his understanding of the game, some of his hand moves, and his footwork, you go back and watch the tape, Drew Moss, and Connor Colby for that matter, did some really nice things. And why this is big again, Niners badly need some young offensive line talent. Shoot, in general, they just need better offensive line talent. And so if Colby and Moss can play, huge for this organization moving forward. More to get to here on the other side, but I do want to tell you about this deal. This Niners pullover hoodie was $80. It is now on sale for just $48. But you have to use our link in order for that discount to apply. It's chatsports.com/Niners hoodie. I'm going to put that link in the show notes and attach to the pinned comment. This hoodie, it looks fresh. SF on the front with the SF Crescent Niners logo right beside it. And you think about football season, right? Fall is going to be here. Then winter. It's going to get a little bit chilly, regardless of where you are across the country. So look good, look clean with that Niners hoodie. All right. We have a Jauan Jennings contract update. It seems as though Jennings and the Niners are not close to getting a deal done. Here's the update from Tim Kawakami of the San Francisco Standard, a longtime Bay Area sports writer, and he says this: I checked around, and my understanding is that the 49ers feel that the timing is all wrong. They don't want to give Jennings a big new deal so soon after he signed the last one, a year after they gave Brandon Aiyuk a huge contract that the 49ers money people almost instantly regretted, and months after signing Brock Purdy to a $265 million deal. I've heard that the two sides are not close on a new agreement, which shouldn't be a surprise after the Niners' rounds of cost-cutting last spring set up their new deals with Purdy, Fred Warner, and George Kittle. Beyond that, the 49ers have clearly indicated that there isn't much more money to pay out, and certainly not at wide receiver with Aiyuk's $30 million a year deal already on the books. I do take issue with this. I always think it's a good practice for organizations across the NFL to compensate their players when they outplay their old deals. For instance, the Philadelphia Eagles did this with Saquon Barkley. They realized how great he was, top 5 in MVP voting. He was the offensive player of the year. He was one of the big reasons why they won that Super Bowl. He played a huge role in them hoisting that Lombardi trophy, and Howie Roseman realized, you outplayed your deal. We need to reward you with how great you were, how pivotal you're going to continue to be. So he ripped up that old contract and made him the highest paid running back in the history of the NFL. For Jauan Jennings, former 7th-round pick, hasn't made a lot of money. While the Niners did give him a new deal last year, he's going into the final year of his contract, has no financial security, beyond 2025. And last year, he outplayed the $7.5 million salary. And my issue here, too, if the Niners give Jennings $11 to $15 million per year, that's a steal given how robust the wide receiver market is. They also have $45.5 million in cap space, and he has turned into such a valuable weapon for Brock Purdy. And so if you paid Brock Purdy, which you did, he's going to be your franchise quarterback, face of the franchise. Don't you want to surround him with players who he plays well with? For a player who you can get at a discounted rate compared to where the wide receiver market is, don't agree with the Niners' approach here with Jauan Jennings. He plays the game the right way. He's so well respected inside that locker room and in that receiver room. He's a willing run blocker. He's been so clutch for this organization for the last few years, making big play after big play in the biggest of moments. And those plays probably worth more than what the Niners have given him. As for my Niners training camp reaction, earlier talked about the big offensive line developments, right? Connor Colby in there running with the ones. Drew Moss as the backup left guard. Marquis Siegel, the rookie 5th-round pick out of Kansas State, who was flying around against Denver, also getting run with the ones at that safety spot. He could very well start week 1 for the Niners with that 4.3 speed. The Brock Purdy to George Kittle connection throughout training camp has been dominant. They have connected on so many big plays, and today, more big plays as Kittle was able to get past the defense and Purdy delivered some nicely thrown balls. Dominic Puni scored a touchdown today. We always love a big man tutty, right? It came off a deflection where Purdy's pass was batted down at the line of scrimmage, and it fell into the awaiting hands of Dom Puni, who darted upfield to score that touchdown and bring it to the paint. Bryce Huff was also active, had a couple of would-be sacks. I think him as a speed rusher going to be really valuable opposite of Nick Bosa, even though Huff didn't do a ton against Denver in preseason week 1. And then Jauan Jennings. Might be far apart with the Niners as far as getting that deal done, but a good sign there was doing some light rehab on the side. He hadn't been seen prior to that. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button right here on the 49ers Report. Thanks for rocking with me, San Francisco. We'll see you soon.